welcome to SVG TV News on Monday, July 30th. I am Yvette Boynes with the details. Today, Monday, July 30th, is observed globally as World Day Against Trafficking in Persons, designated by the United Nations in 2013. This day is meant to raise awareness of the situation of victims of human trafficking and for the promotion and protection of their rights. As they continue to push the agenda of this nation's government in the fight against human trafficking, the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Unit within the Royal SVG Police Force held an exhibition in observance of the day as well as to sensitize the general public on the issue. Nikita Tony tells us more in this report.
To the trafficking of children and young people. That's the theme under which the 2018 World Day Against Trafficking in Persons was being observed today, Monday, July 30th. Locally, the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Unit, ATPU, within the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, put on a packed program of activities in observance of the day, one of which was an exhibition under the Singer Gallery. Head of the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Unit, Inspector Junior Simmons, told SVG TV News that the exhibition aims to get the public more aware and engaged in the fight against human trafficking.
Human trafficking is the second most lucrative criminal network there is, second only to drug trafficking. According to estimates, human traffickers make upwards between 9 to 32 billion US dollars annually in profits, profiting, from exploiting human beings. To combat human trafficking effectively, there must be a collaborative approach, a partnership between critical stakeholders. So that has been our mantra. We have focused very heavily on preventative strategies in terms of preventing human trafficking from ever taking root in our country. We are really doing our best, playing our part in the global community. Same as in the Grenadines, we are a very small nation, but we are very effective on the world stage.
Simmons highlighted how his unit has been working towards addressing the issue in SVG.
Human traffickers, investigate cases of human trafficking. We are supposed to also train law enforcement officers and other public officers, NGOs, faith-based organizations on issues related to human trafficking. We are also supposed to conduct sensitization and awareness raising campaigns throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we also have to submit quarterly and annual reports to the Minister of National Security, the Cabinet, the National Task Force Against Human Trafficking.
The inspector added that only one case of human trafficking has been brought before the court thus far, but there was no conviction.
In 2015, we arrested and charged a local businessman for human trafficking. That matter went before the court in 2016. However, during the PI, the preliminary inquiry, it was withdrawn by the prosecution. But we are not daunted. We believe that once we continue to aggressively pursue human trafficking and human traffickers, once we continue to aggressively seek to assist victims of human trafficking, that one day we'll get a conviction. I believe that one of the reasons why we haven't really had a conviction thus far, it is because of our strong preventative measures that we are putting in place to ensure that human trafficking does not take root in our country.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines has maintained its Tier 2 ranking in the United States Department of State's 2018 Trafficking in Persons TIP report, this being the second consecutive year that the country has attained this ranking. It has been commended highly for its efforts in combating human trafficking both locally, regionally and internationally over the reporting period. Nikita Tony reporting for SVG TV News.
Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves has reiterated the government's commitment towards combating human trafficking. This as he delivered an address on radio today in observance of the 2018 United Nations proclaimed World Day Against Trafficking in Persons. In his statement, the Prime Minister made reference to various human trafficking statistics provided by the UN, noting that there are millions of trafficking in persons victims in the world.
30 seconds, somebody becomes a victim of human trafficking somewhere in the world. There are approximately between 21 to 30 million slaves worldwide. This may surprise persons. If you peruse the relevant documents from the International Labour Organization, you will see the statistics. Out of this 21 to 30 million slaves, 1/3 are children. And in the aggregate, women and children account for over 70% of the traffic victims. Between 600,000 and 1 million persons are trafficked globally on an annual basis, according to an estimate by the United States of America State Department. And over 1 million plus children, according to UNICEF, are trafficked globally on an annual basis.
The Prime Minister, who is also the chairman of the National Task Force Against Human Trafficking, said that SVG remains a global partner in the fight to combat and eliminate human trafficking. He added that since 2010, his administration has implemented several policies aimed at tackling the issue.
Canadians subscribes fully to target 8.7 of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And this particular target aims to end human trafficking. We have enacted the Prevention of Trafficking in Persons Act, number 27 of 2011. And this model law criminalizes human trafficking. We have created international frameworks like the National Task Force, institutional framework, like the National Task Force Against Human Trafficking, of which I am chair, and the Interministerial Working Group Against Human Trafficking. Operation of a national action plan to combat human trafficking. This plan was recently revised and it runs up to 2020. We have established the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Unit, a specialized unit in the Royal St. Vincent Grenadines Police Force, to continuous training in human trafficking related issues to all critical stakeholders. The signing of a memorandum of understanding between 9 stakeholders to combat human trafficking. Mass sensitization and awareness raising campaigns to alert the general public about human trafficking. 8. The investigation and prosecution of would-be human traffickers. 9. Providing protection, assistance and care to potential victims of human trafficking.
PM Gonzalez encouraged persons to become informed and be on the lookout for instances of human trafficking.
This year, there's a packed program of activities organized by the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Unit in conjunction with other critical stakeholders to observe the United Nations Day Against Human Trafficking. And I'm urging everyone today to pay attention to what you're hearing on the radio, to read up on it. Children, young people, you have access to the internet. Read up on what human trafficking is about. Sensitize yourself, to educate yourself, and your classmates can have it as a project. You can learn about it, and the teachers can help you. If you see anything, or if you hear something, you have to say something about this. And you just contact the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Unit. You have to be the ear witness and the eyewitness to what is happening.